A century after the Valyrian dragon lords of House Targaryen conquered 6 of 7 Westerosi realms, the continent was experiencing the final years of a golden age under King Jaehaerys I, which then continued under his grandson Viserys I, who inherited the Iron Throne in 103 AC. While Viserys was not a brilliant, transformative figure like his grandfather, he was a kind, amiable king well loved by his subjects, continuing most of the policies which led to their years of prosperity. Yet in the matter of succession, Viserys took an uncharacteristically firm and unwavering position, contradicting the carefully considered precedent established by his grandfather in years past. Although the structure of Westerosi society made it function as a feudal monarchy, with local lords maintaining significant power, influence, and armies, the overwhelming might of House Targaryen's dragons, which served as enormous flying fire-breathing beasts of mass destruction, meant the king could act as an absolute monarch, changing laws, ignoring precedent, and establishing reforms as he saw fit. Therefore, when Aemma Arryn, the wife of Viserys Targaryen, gave birth to only one surviving child, the king broke free from the tradition of agnatic primogeniture, which demanded a male inherit the throne, to name his daughter Rhaenyra as heir. Attending small council meetings and shadowing her father, Rhaenyra spent years training to become the first queen of Westeros, growing into a beautiful, charming, clever young girl, beloved by all, and nicknamed the realm's delight. After the death of her mother, Aemma Arryn, in 105 AC, King Viserys invited the most prominent lords of the realm to a lavish ceremony where he formally declared his daughter Rhaenyra heir to the Iron Throne, prompting the nobles in attendance to pledge their unwavering loyalty to the princess. Yet despite this precaution taken to protect his daughter's position, the first seeds of conflict were planted just a year later when Viserys married Alicent Hightower, a highly ambitious young woman who gave him 4 children in quick succession, 3 boys, Aegon, Aemond, and Daeron, as well as a girl, Helaena, meaning there were now numerous possible male successors. Yet Viserys remained resolute in his decision, making it clear Rhaenyra would continue to be his heir. On reasonably amicable terms for the first few years of their relationship, Princess Rhaenyra and Queen Alicent grew increasingly hostile as they vied to become the most influential woman in the realm. Nowhere was this division more clear than at the Great Tourney of 111 AC, when Princess Rhaenyra donned a beautiful black gown, while Alicent wore one of green, leading the royal court to name their respective factions, the Blacks and Greens. Seeing that her husband the king was adamant his eldest daughter was heir, unwilling to change his mind no matter her arguments, Alicent worked diligently over the years to tarnish Rhaenyra's sterling reputation, thereby chipping away at her support throughout the realm. Unfortunately for the princess, the unusual circumstances surrounding her private life gave the Greens plenty of ammunition for their attacks. Though Rhaenyra married Laenor Velaryon in 114 AC, a seemingly good match from a powerful family of Valyrian blood like the Targaryens, rumors abound that her husband preferred the company of men. Similarly, rumors circulated about Rhaenyra's activities, with some claiming she lost her virginity to her uncle, Daemon Targaryen, and may also have had some sort of relationship with her champion, Sir Criston Cole, a knight of the Kingsguard, madly devoted to the princess, until a highly contentious rift of unknown origins formed between them, causing him to join the Greens, as he burned with hatred for the woman he once loved. The rumors about her private life then worsened during her marriage to Laenor, as she was believed to be sleeping with her new champion, Sir Harwin Strong, a great warrior considered by some as the most physically powerful man in Westeros. Evidence of this affair was seemingly produced when Rhaenyra gave birth to 3 sons, Jacaerys, Lucerys, and Joffrey, none of whom had the silver-white hair, violet eyes, or delicate features of Laenor, instead born with the brown hair, brown eyes, and pug nose of Harwin Strong. Yet everyone involved vehemently denied the accusations, leading to arguments, fights, and increased tensions between Blacks and Greens. Even after Rhaenyra moved with her family out of the capital to Dragonstone, the rumors and conflict persisted until King Viserys had enough, and in 120 AC declared that anyone heard disparaging his grandchildren's lineage would have their tongue removed, while also ordering Harwin Strong back to his home of Harrenhal, where he later died in a mysterious fire. In addition to losing a possible lover, Rhaenyra lost her husband Laenor in that same year, with stories claiming he was killed by a male lover. Having previously agreed to a political union, this time the princess married her uncle Daemon Targaryen, the man she'd loved since her youth. Yet Daemon was a rogue prince, beloved by some but hated by many others, living a life of hedonism and adventure, experiencing such wild extremes that at some points in his life he mingled with prostitutes and vagrants in the streets of King's Landing, while at other times he struck out to build his legacy, briefly becoming a king in his own right when he raised an army and conquered the Stepstones. As a consequence of living such an unorthodox lifestyle, one of his most hated enemies was Otto Hightower, the father of Alicent Hightower and Hand of the King, adding yet another layer of conflict between the Blacks and Greens. Though Viserys saw the terrible rift forming in his family, his conflict-averse, jovial spirit made him unable or unwilling to remedy the situation, aside from ensuring they did not squabble in his presence. As a result, any good he accomplished throughout his reign was entirely overshadowed by the factional division he allowed in his court, which ultimately led to the worst, most devastating civil war in Targaryen history. Events finally came to a head in 129 AC when King Viserys died in his sleep at the age of 52, causing Queen Alicent to call for a meeting of the Small Council, where she immediately set her plans into motion, completely ignoring the wishes of her deceased husband to crown her eldest son as King of Westeros. Having spent years ensuring the council was comprised of Green supporters, nearly all agreed to pledge themselves to Aegon Targaryen, save for Old Lord Beesbury, the Master of Coin, who refused and accused them of stealing Rhaenyra's crown. Accounts differ on what happened next, with some claiming he was arrested and died in a cell, while others say Sir Criston Cole, now the champion of Queen Alicent, immediately slit his throat or threw him from a window. In any case, loyal Lord Beesbury became the first casualty in the Dance of the Dragon civil war. For 7 days, the Greens kept the death of Viserys secret so they could remove and replace all their enemies at court, until finally the Kingsguard Sir Criston Cole crowned Aegon II as King of Westeros, claiming legitimacy through tradition and historical precedent, including the conclusion to the Great Council of 101 AC under King Jaehaerys I, which stated a woman could not inherit the Iron Throne over a male claimant. Born from the machinations of Alicent and Otto Hightower, Aegon Targaryen had no ambition to be king, and when presented with the idea, refused, stating he had no desire to steal his sister's crown. But Criston Cole eventually convinced him his family would be killed if Rhaenyra became queen, as she would no doubt seek to eliminate her rivals. Believing the safety of his family was at stake, Aegon saw no choice but to take the throne and commit himself to the war. Over on Dragonstone, Rhaenyra was pregnant with her 6th child, having given birth to 2 more sons with Daemon Targaryen, naming them Aegon and Viserys. But when she heard her father was dead and younger brother usurped the throne, her rage was so intense she went into early labor and lost the child, blaming Aegon the Elder, Alicent, and their supporters for the death. Calling upon her allies, Rhaenyra was crowned the true Queen of Westeros from her seat on Dragonstone, proudly wearing the crown of her father Viserys and great-grandfather Jaehaerys, as it was stolen from the royal palace by Sir Steffon Darklyn, a knight of the Kingsguard who abandoned Aegon II, believing she was the rightful queen. Gathering her most loyal supporters, including her husband Daemon Targaryen, her father's cousin Rhaenys Targaryen, the Sea Snake Lord Corlys Velaryon, and her 3 eldest sons, Rhaenyra held the first meeting of the Black Council, where they went over their strategy for the war. A special thanks to all those who contribute to CivilizationEx, like Mamoru, the Obscured Hermit Alchemist, Kurgan the Immortal, Zong the Black Wolf, and Barian, the Soft Bastard Beesbury. If you'd like to help the channel, be sure to give a like, leave a comment, subscribe, and click on the links below, or else go to patreon.com/CivilizationEx, where you can gain early access to videos, vote on future content, and watch the Patreon-only series, Heroes of Lore and Legend.